Nika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots communities.
Civil society who are here, we are here as post-civil society organizations. We're not talking about Mombasa, we're talking about the coastal region. We are here to talk about the amendment that was done to the Prevention of Terrorism Act via a miscellaneous amendment provision that was first introduced into Parliament April this year. We have one of us, she will read the statement and then we will expound. My name is Zedekia Adika.
And this is the press statement by post-Csos on the Miscellaneous Amendment Act that requires civil society organizations and international NGOs to report and seek approval of PCVE work from the National Counter Terrorism Center-NCTC. We, the undersigned civil society organizations comprising of human rights entities, women groups, youth organizations, people with disabilities, religious groups, social justice centers, faith-based organizations, professional associations, and grassroots organizations do hereby present our position with regards to the recently assented Miscellaneous Amendment Bill 2019, which, among others, amended the Prevention of Terrorism Act to require that civil society organizations and international NGOs report to and seek approval of PCVE activities from the National Counter Terrorism Center. The Miscellaneous Amendment Act had an amendment for the Prevention of Terrorism Act, which states as follows: renumber the existing provisions as subsections 2 and 3 respectively, and insert the following new subsection immediately before the renumbered subsections. Under subsection 1, the Center shall be an approving and reporting institution for all civil society organizations and international non-governmental organizations engaged in preventing and countering violent extremism and radicalization through counter-messaging or public outreach and disengagement and reintegration of radicalized individuals. The National Counter Terrorism Center is established under subsection 40A of the Prevention of Terrorism Act with the following objectives. The Center shall be responsible for the coordination of national counterterrorism efforts in order to detect, deter, and disrupt terrorism acts. The Center shall establish a database to assist law enforcement agencies, conduct public awareness on prevention of terrorism, develop strategies such as counter and de-radicalization, facilitate capacity building for counter-terrorism stakeholders, coordinate with other government agencies to provide security certification for aviation schools or companies. As CSOs engaged in PCVE work, we are surprised and perturbed by this new amendment due to the following reasons. Powers of NCTC. In this new amendment, NCTC will be overstepping its original mandate as provided for under Section 40A of the Porter Act. Section 40A does not bestow upon the NCTC powers to receive reports or approve CSOs' PCVE work. Independence of CSOs. As civil society organizations, our mandate is to operate devoid of government influence, control, and manipulation. This clause will take away the autonomy and independence of CSOs, which play a crucial part in the human rights, social justice, and democratization processes of Kenya. In PCVE work, it is imperative that CSOs remain independent as they do their work. 3. Public goodwill. CSOs remain to date the voice of the people. They enjoy public goodwill and are approached by individuals and social groups for assistance. Having to report to and seek approval from NCTC will erode this goodwill as they will be seen to be part and parcel of government. In PCVE, it is crucial for CSOs and government to maintain their separate identities. Number 4, duplication of NGO boards' roles. All CSOs already report to a central government entity. They share both their narrative and financial reports to the state regulator. These amendments will duplicate roles as NGOs will be required to report to 2 different state entities. Number 5, capacity to approve PCVE. NCTC and government in general has no capacity to approve every PCVE activity in the country. The nature of PCVE is that it's broad and engages all citizens of Kenya. It is both at the individual and groups level, and as such, it is impossible for any entity to approve every activity on PCVE in the country. 6. Definition of PCVE. PCVE is broadly interpreted to even include social, political, and economic activities. To what extent will the reporting and approval be sought for? Number 6, definition of CSOs. Kenya's civil society is broad and covers NGOs, CBOs, trusts, grassroots organizations, but also funeral committees, football associations, etc. Will this provision cover all entities, including funeral committees, that may touch on PCVE? Number 8, confidentiality. CSO's work include legal affairs where they receive certain information in confidence. This confidential information is given in trust and must be treated as such. Declaring that CSOs must report will take away the confidentiality in PCVE work, which will erode the trust CSOs have with their clients. 9. Non-coercive approach. In development of county action plans to prevent and counter violent extremism, the NCTC has clearly presented its principle of non-coercive approach. Through this approach, they have managed to ensure support, cooperation, and coordination with CSOs. This amendment introduces coercion in PCVE, and it will take away the voluntary partnership with CSOs that NCTC has enjoyed so far. Number 10, violation of fundamental rights and freedoms. As legal entities, CSOs and international non-governmental organizations have guaranteed freedoms of association and assembly. This amendment takes away that freedom by forcing them to associate with certain actors. This violates the rights and freedoms guaranteed in Chapter 4 of the Constitution. And finally, the PBO Act. Operationalization of the PBO Act, which includes how reporting by CSOs will be done, is the best way to ensure adequate reporting and regulation of CSOs. Government should ensure the PBO Act is enforced. In this regard, we the CSOs demand the following. Number 1, that the specific amendment touching on CSOs in the Miscellaneous Amendment Act be expunged in totality. Number 2, that the independence of CSOs to undertake PCVE work be assured and guaranteed by government, and in particular the NCTC. Number 3, PCVE activity should be left open for all, including NGOs, trusts, and CBOs, to undertake without undue demands of reporting and seeking approval. Number 4, we call upon the legislatures, particularly from the coast, to immediately withdraw this amendment and put measures to expunge it in totality. Number 5, that if no action is taken within 7 days to remedy the current situation, we shall explore other options at our disposal to push for the above, including seeking court's intervention and exercising our rights under Article 37 of the Constitution to demonstrate and present petitions. And in the meantime, we will withdraw all our current support and engagement with NCTC and government, including supporting the county action plans until this matter is adequately and satisfactorily resolved. Thank you.
Pamoja na ugaidi, tunaangalia kwamba hii ni azma ambayo imelengea kupunguza nafasi ama uhuru wa mashirika ya serikali kuweza kufanya kazi kwa njia inayoeleweka. Ni kwamba sisi serikali tukifuata tuwezi kuwa serikali, tuko hapa kusaidia kazi ya serikali na pia tuko katikati kuunganisha serikali na jamii. Ukiangalia kumekuwa na hali ya uhasama kati ya polisi na jamii. Ikiwa sisi itakuwa tutawekwa kidhibiti mwendo ya kwamba tuwezi kuwa uhuru, ya kwamba sisi lazima tuweze kupewa amri ya kwamba ni lazima kabla tuweze kutekeleza masuala ya kupambana na ile itikadi kali ni lazima tuombe ruhusa na tupewe idhini na NCTC. Hii ni njia moja ambayo itawezesha kazi yetu pale mashinani katika kupambana na mahali hii iwe ni kazi ambayo itakuwa imepungua nguvu. Vile vile kama shirika tunasema kwamba azma hii itaondosha na kupunguza utendakaji wetu pale mashinani. Na tukiangalia kama taifa, ukiangalia NCTC nguvu zao hakuna mahali ambayo imeandikwa kwamba wana ruhusa ama wana haki ya kuitisha idhini ama ya kuomba ripoti kutoka mashirika sio ya serikali. Kazi yao iko wazi peupe, ni kwamba sasa wapita mpaka wanataka kuja kuzuia utendakazi wa mashirika ambao hisi kama mashirika sio ya serikali hatuwezi kukubali. Na tuko tayari kwenda kotini, tuko tayari kutumia nguvu ya kitengo cha 67 katika katiba yetu ya kwamba tutaweza kuingia barabarani kufanya maandamano, tutaweza kufanya picketing kuhakikisha kwamba sheria hii inaondolewa. Na tunaambia viongozi katika bunge, wabunge wetu ya kwamba kabla wapitishe sheria zote, kabla wafanye amendments, waweze kuziangalia, wa seek advice from civil society, tuweze kupambanua masuala haya. Ni muhimu participation ifanyike kikamilifu ili waweze kuelewa. Sasa nyingine wanapelekewa bills wanazipitisha bila kutathmini na kuangalia. Na hivi tunaomba kwamba wako na nguvu ya kwamba waweze kurecall sheria hii iweze kubadilishwa haraka iwezekanavyo, kwa sababu inaenda kuwa na maafa makubwa. Vile vile stand yetu sisi kama mashirika ya serikali kwamba tumekuwa tukishirikiana na NCTC pamoja na serikali katika kutengeneza tunaita caps. Kwamba kwa ufupi, kwa sababu mambo haya yameweza kupitishwa, tunasema tunajiondoa support yetu yote kikamilifu, tunajiondoa ya kwamba ni lazima waweze kuangalia hili swala, tuweze kukaa, tuweze kujadiliana ni vipi tutaweza kusonga mbele. La sivyo sisi tumejiondoa katika msururu huu, na unapoona hapa mashirika yamekuwa yakitembea katika gatuzi zote ama county zote 47 kuhakikisha kwamba mipangilio hii imewezeshwa. Na mipangilio hiyo imeshikana serikali kuu, imeshikana serikali za ugatuzi, na ni kwamba NCTC inataka kudhibiti micromanaging watu sio jambo zuri katika taifa hili. Now,
number one is the principle of public participation. If you look at the amendment that was put in place, it is called a miscellaneous amendment. The objective of a miscellaneous amendment in any jurisdiction of any parliament is so that you correct minor mistakes in the law. In this instance, they put together around 11 laws into a miscellaneous amendment bill, and they amended all of them once like that. That is in itself is illegal, because that is not an intention of what we call a miscellaneous amendment. The reasons being, one, the time that is given to a miscellaneous amendment bill is even relatively shorter as compared to both political parties are working together. But that must not interfere with the primary responsibility of Parliament. The primary responsibility of Parliament is to look at executive as a different entity compared to what they are supposed to do. Parliamentarians must make laws, but as they make laws, those laws must be ones that can oversight, especially the executive. We are seeing a trend where, because there is handshake, they are going beyond what is intended. Kenyans wanted peace. Kenyans did not want control by one state where people must be quiet. And if we say something else, they call you, they threaten you. That is not what we want. And that must start from Parliament. That must be very clear from this statement, that in spite of your handshake, please give us freedom and relate to constitutional law, relate to provisions that put the natives of this country together. Number three, what is the jurisdiction of NCTC? This is a state institution. we are civil society, we don't civil society so that we can check them. And more critical is that we don't have an opposition. So if you kill the voice of civil society, you are entirely killing the state called Kenya. People will steal, people will kill, nobody will question. NCTC must remain to its mandate. Its mandate must remain with government institutions. It must not go beyond government institutions. Number 4 is the last one, which is more important, and especially for advocates. And LSK should come on board to this process, because all these civil society organizations have 1 or 2 advocates. For instance, Kituo cha Sheria, their primary mandate is to ensure that people access justice. In accessing justice, we are representing clients free of charge. So we have clients.
Just to add 1 or 2 very quick points. Ya kwanza, it's that this amendment is the biggest blow that our country has faced in our efforts to prevent and counter violent extremism. Because now we are seeing the work of preventing and countering violent extremism being taken over by the state. We want to maintain our independence. As civil society organizations, we are very ready to work, we are very ready to cooperate, we are very ready to network and even share information with state agencies. But we are not ready to report or to be controlled or to be manipulated by state agencies. This independence must be maintained if we are truly serious about preventing and countering violent extremism in the country. As CSOs, we have played a major role. Without being coerced, we have voluntarily supported the work of preventing and countering violent extremism. We have developed policies. We have assisted the government in very many ways, voluntarily. We do not understand this mischief and this mistrust that is currently being presented by the state and by the National Counter Terrorism Center. The second point is actually to our legislators. As my colleague has just hinted out, they are even now asking for night allowances, when in actual practice, they are failing to do their work. We are asking our legislators, for all the money and the resources that you take from Kenyans, the least you can do is make sure that the laws that are passed actually help move this country forward. This amendment that we are talking about is actually taking back the gains that we have actually made so far as a country in preventing and countering violent extremism. These same politicians have completely killed the opposition. Currently, the only voice we have that speaks against state excesses is civil society. And now they're even trying to water down the work of civil society by demanding and passing laws for us to report to them. I think we need to seriously look into these issues and ensure that we are able to get this country on the right path of democratization.
I think our call was actually ignored and the law has been passed. We have no doubt that this law, or rather the passing of this law, is in bad taste. You might also be aware that tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, we will have the Africa Regional Conference on PCVE that will be happening in Nairobi. And this is a forum that is calling together a lot of actors from within Africa and also other foreign countries in Europe and in America as well. The reason why this forum is happening in this country.
Mapambano
equity forward! Forward with social justice forward! Forward with social justice forward!
For the PCVE forward! For the PCVE forward! For the freedom forward!
Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots community. Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots community. Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots communities. Amplifying voices of the grass. Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots. Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of Anika Community Media, amplifying voices of the grassroots communities.